Hey there, Blip here, and today for you I have the Mythic Lady Inerva Darkvein kill in a Fire Mage point of view. Now in this video I'm going to obviously teach you how to do the best damage as Fire Mage as you can, but keep in mind that this fight is heavily dominated by immuning the adds, which means that your damage is really going to vary from pool to pool. Sometimes you're going to have a lot of adds spawning, sometimes you're going to have none, and if you have no adds spawning as a result you're going to do less damage, but that's only for logs if you're interested in that. If you're not interested in logs and you just want to kill the boss, then that's a good thing, because boss damage is really the only thing that matters in this fight. Doing as much damage to the boss as you can is simply going to give you the best outcome on this fight. So never save your combustion for the adds and always use it on cooldown on the boss, as long as you have everything prepared. You could delay it for like 2-3 seconds if you know the adds are going to spawn, but otherwise everyone's going to melt them, so just focus on the boss. Alright, so we're going to start with the pull timer. Now, there's not really much that's changed on Mythic Inerva, other than when you empty a container, it's going to make the other ones fill up faster, meaning you're going to have to deal with more empowered mechanics throughout the duration of the fight. So it can get pretty messy towards the end, which again is why your damage is so important on this fight. So I'm just going to do my damage as I would normally now. Opened with a Pyroblast into a Fireball, into double Phoenix Flames Fire Blast combo because I don't want to extend my Infernal Cascade for as long as possible. A little Scorch window at the end here, and now I just need to move a bit closer for my shifting power. I don't think this is in range, unfortunately. How well it happens. And another thing on this fight that's changed is that the sins, which is what you see the beams here going out, and the orbs, there's one extra orb which I can't show you right now, but I can show you later on how to deal with it, where the fight gets a lot more messier. Now we're a mage, so obviously we're very good at dealing with mechanics on this fight. You will lose a bit of damage if you have to like move out like this all the time, which I do, but it's worth it because you're going to kill the boss more often. Now as you just saw, there was an immunity thing right now. I'm just going to pause the video quickly. So we have a weak aura that shows us when we need to immune the boss, because we want to immune as many adds as we can. We have hunters immune certain different ones, and obviously my immunity is on a longer cooldown, so I immune the first set of adds, which I actually missed here because I was locked in a global, unfortunately. And then we immune the 4th or 5th set of adds, which your ice block should just be up for. So as soon as your ice block is on cooldown, basically, and you see that weak aura, which I'll put in the description of the video, it just means you're immune so you don't spawn adds, because the less adds there are, the less the tanks have to deal with them and the more damage you can put into the boss. Yeah, I failed to immune these, so we're just going to deal with them. I mean, this makes me happy as a mage, right? Because it means I get to combust into them. Unfortunately, I didn't have all my charges of Fire Blast ready for this, but it's not a big deal. My trinket came up a bit later as well, because I had really good crits. So yeah, the combustion wasn't amazing, but it was okay. Had to sacrifice a bit of it at the end there to make sure I soak, but oh well, it has to be done sometimes. If I show you, you might have an interrupt to do on the adds. I was always the 5th interrupt, so I really didn't have to interrupt, everything was dying so fast. Otherwise, yeah, you don't want to focus the ad here. I accidentally forget to swap back to the boss, so I end up pyroblasting into him a bit too much, but you want to scorch off of him, put the pyroblast into the boss obviously, because that's going to give you the most damage. Otherwise now, yeah, just doing a rotation as normal. Some soaks are incoming, so I wait for them to make sure I can get them before using my Arena Power. You can see that we didn't immune these adds again. Fortunately, my combustion is going to be up a bit late here, and I accidentally soak a bit of the bubble there, but that's okay because it didn't really do much damage. And my combustion up now, I start running in to be in a better spot, but the bubble spawned. Always going to sacrifice myself to soak the flasks if I can, but ideally, if you see that your combustion is about to go off, you don't want to soak them, because obviously you're going to lose so much boss damage if you have to move out of your Arena Power to soak an orb. So I only rarely move out when my combustion is up, only if I see no one is going to soak it whatsoever. Otherwise I always try and help out as much as I can, as you see here. Now I should be scorching off this guy, and I start doing it now, as you see. Arena Power's up, and I'm going to start DPSing the boss again. Now, as you can see, we got the boss to 50%, and now we want to use more of the space in the room because the bottles are starting to fill up the room, so we just move the boss over into this corner over here. Now I see there's a soak really far, everyone goes for it, it got a bit risky. I should have just stayed in the one I had, but obviously I'm a mage and I could have got to the further one easier, so I blinked for it. But ideally you don't want to do what I did, and you just want to stay in that one, unless literally no one is going for it. I should have been more patient, because my blink will always emergency get it if I have to. Otherwise, I'm just using my cooldowns now. I see that my combustion is coming up, I'm just going to use it. The ads are spawning, if you can see, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'm not going to save my combustion for them. Boss damage is so much more important for us, so I'm going to do that. I see people running out to soak the bubbles, or the bottles, so I'm not going to bother touching those. Now I'm just doing my single target rotation again. There's not really much else going on now. The fight does start getting a lot messier now though, because obviously there's more empowered mechanics. And as you can see, there was 4 orbs there, so his bottles are spawning. I'm just going to go soak some, but then I see everyone has got it covered. There's no point in moving out. I can scorch now as well, so I don't really lose much from moving out. Now this is where we were supposed to immune some more, but unfortunately we didn't. But I wasn't supposed to immune this one, but my shifting power obviously makes it so my ice block comes up a bit earlier. The 4th set of ads, as you see on my big weights boss mod in the top left, is where I need to immune. Either way, my combustion comes up a bit late here, but just as you can see, even without my combustion, these ads are just getting destroyed, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Again, I'm looking around to see if I need to soak any bottles, and now I just go out because there's a lot of them spawning and I see it could be a bit hectic, so just help out when you can. Gonna move in a bit closer to use my shifting power, and I believe this is where I get the sins debuff now, and I can show you how to deal with this. So as a mage, you can always take the far ones because you're obviously mobile as heck, and now the beams are going to start rotating as well. So dealing with these beams as soon as possible is so important because they're going to cause so many problems if you don't. So as a mage, I'm going to take the furthest away one all the time because I can get there faster than anyone else, and it really helps out your raid team doing this. Now, as you can see on the screen, there is 4 orbs, and I'm the anchor, and anchor means that I am the one that's responsible for lining up the 2 orbs with my beams, because I am the one with the 2 orbs that are closer together. I'm going to give you another paint diagram as I did an artificer, because I believe it's insanely helpful for this sort of fight. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a paint diagram on how this is going to play out. So there's 4 orbs here that need to have a beam going through them, right? So these red lines are the beams, for example. These are going to start rotating and it's going to get a bit hectic, so you need to be fast with them because the quicker you get these done, the less the beams are going to rotate and the easier it's going to be to deal with it. Now the 2 orbs that are closest together are the one where you're going to have to line it up with the other 2 people. Ideally, let's say the green color I'm about to use now. Okay, so this green color is where other players are going to be. So ideally they want to stand like this. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So now this may make it so that their beam, right, let's say green is the line that's going between them, is not going through the orbs. But that's okay, because the easiest way to deal with this is to have me, who is the mage, or the anchor in this situation, because I'm the one closest to the 2 orbs. Let me put the blue color just so you know it's me, the mage. Now my beams from these green guys is going to go like this. Now this means that both the lines are still going through the orbs, so they're both going to be destroyed. And this way as well, it means that we don't have to soak as many like pools or puddles that are going to cause a lot of problems. So as you see in the video here, obviously I'm surrounded by pools, and unfortunately the purple dye marker isn't in position yet, but that's okay. But I need to try and move backwards, so my line is going through all 4 orbs. So as you can see here, purple is in a weird spot, so I'm just going to run back through here a bit, and as you can see, the lines were popped. I had to soak the puddles for a bit, but luckily I have my health stone and tonic if I needed to use them, so it was fine. And just making sure you don't dive and get those orbs done is really important. But otherwise, yeah, I just see that there's some risky bottles, and just helping and soaking the mechanics is just going to give us the highest chance of killing the boss. And the boss is almost dead. We're supposed to immune the next set of ads, but they haven't spawned for some reason. Sometimes the timers get delayed and pushed back, so I just ice blocked the bottles to play it safe. Otherwise, yeah, the boss is pretty much dead now. It can be pretty hectic here. I'm just going to use like a last ditch effort combustion because I might as well. The boss is about to die. And yeah, the boss is dead. That's all there is to this fight really. Just make sure you understand how to do the sin debuff, the orbs, as I showed you in the paint diagram. That is really all you need to pay attention for, and that's what's going to make you kill this boss. Immune the ads when you can, and soak as many balls as you can. As a mage, your raid will appreciate you much more if you're very good at soaking those bottles and helping the melee DPS out when there's really far ones. yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I should have my mage guide out very soon now, which should help a lot of you if you feel like you need to, like, you know, show yourself up on a few tips, and it should help out a few newer people as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one, which will be the Council of Blood. See you around!